Hey guys, this is Katrina with IdeateTV, and I'm here with Jim, who is the writer for Stone Star. Hi, Jim.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm good. So tell me about your experience as a writer here and your collaboration experience here as a writer at Stone Star.
Yeah, so Max Dunbar and I have put together this new series, and we did this kind of spontaneous announcement and drop of the project last week. And it's kind of, it's been a really wild ride, because normally with these kinds of projects you announce them and then there's a long period where people are doing pre-orders and then you're trying to get it out into stores. And what we did is we basically said, hey, we've got a thing we've built, we kept it a secret, and now it's available digitally. If you're on Amazon or Kindle Unlimited or Comixology, you can just drop this thing into your account and away you go. And so it's just like a fun, there's a momentum that created, and it's kind of driven us as we've been creating it, which has been a lot of fun.
Very cool. So like, what came first, the idea of this story, or did they reach out to you as an artist, or I'm always curious to know.
So for me, it was something where a lot of times as a writer, you have a bunch of ideas floating around, and you'll put stuff down on a page or you'll write it on a little document and you'll check back on it later and you go, oh, I'm working on new things. Is there anything in this old scrap file of ideas that I can draw upon? And so when Max and I decided we were going to work on something together, I kind of went back to one of those old projects and went like, oh, I have a bunch of these free floating ideas about kind of fun science fiction stuff and space fantasy stuff I thought was cool when I was a kid. What can we kind of build together to make something new? But not putting too tight a description on it, because when you're working with an artist, I find you get the best work when they are really collaborating. Like, they aren't just being told, hey, draw this. It's, what do you think is cool? And then they draw something amazing, and then I go, well, that gives me more ideas. And then I write something, and we just build and build and build. So it's like this nice kind of energy generation. Like, they're excited, which makes me more excited, which makes the work more fun, and then we just dive into it. So
I think it's great when you find the best pair.
Yeah, finding good collaborators, creative collaborators, it's a really special thing, And when you are on the same wavelength, but also adding to each other's concepts, you don't just, I don't just want to write the story, I want to get input, and I want the artist to have input, and I want us both to feel like we have a stake in this, And so when it works well, there's nothing better.
Yeah, and what I find interesting as a writer is really shaping that voice and that nuance as a narrator. What was kind of the challenge behind that when you were putting that together with Stone Star?
So for us, it was really a matter of saying, okay, here are a bunch of these kind of science fiction-y kind of tropes, or your young adult kind of hero that you expect to see, but how can we give it little twists, or what can we add to it that you maybe haven't seen before? So you're giving enough of the, I don't want to say the cliche, but enough of what people expect that they can immediately identify. Okay, there's the scrappy young hero. Oh, there's the grizzled kind of mentor figure. But then once you've got that identity, what can we do to then build on it a little bit more? Or how can we make that combination a bit more interesting than the norm, And that was sort of where the visuals and the personality and the voice all kind of comes together.
And who's kind of the character that you relate towards the most?
It's weird, because I think every character is a bit of you. It's just different parts of you that are turned up or turned down, you know what I mean? So Dale, the main character, is this scared kid who doesn't always know where he's meant to be or what he wants to be. And we've all felt that. We've all been there. And so that's kind of me when I'm younger, right? And then the mentor figure is this grizzled old, been there, done that. And you're like, yeah, I have moments where I feel like, man, I've been around this thing way too long. And so you just turn those traits up and you just sort of crank it up to a ridiculous level. But they're all you. They're all little bits and pieces of you that you're playing off of each other. Yeah.
Very cool. Any last advice you would give to our viewers who are trying to do the same thing that you're trying to do?
I think it's really important to make stories that you're passionate about. I know that sounds obvious, but sometimes people will bring me an idea and it feels like what they're doing is trying to figure out what the market wants. And what the market wants is excitement. What the market wants is your voice, and they want something you're passionate about. Some of the biggest comic books of the last 15 to 20 years have been projects that were very different. Something like The Walking Dead, when it was pitched, people were like, a black and white horror book, those don't sell. But it wasn't about the format, it was about a story that Robert Kirkman was really passionate about. Or something like Scott Pilgrim, you're like a video game romance. No one wants that. You're like, well, Brian Lee O'Malley has some really fun ideas, and he's very passionate about it, and he's going to make you get excited about it. So make sure that what you're building is something that you feel really strongly about, because when you're working on it, when the deadlines are hard, when you have to stay up late, you got to have that momentum. You got to have that passion to keep on it. Otherwise, it'll fall apart. So.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Jim. It was great speaking to you.
Thank you. It was a real pleasure to talk to you as well.
All right, thank you. This is Katrina again with IdeateTV here at Wondercon.